In this demo, we're going to onboard a Dive 365 organization with Stripe, the payment service. Now, in order for your organization to receive payment after members purchase items from you, you'll need to configure your Stripe account. In a different demo, we activated the merchant account, and that created your Stripe profile. If everything you do is $0, then that's all you need. But if you plan to charge for anything, then you'll need to configure your Stripe account so that you can get paid. So let's get started. Now, I have Dive 365 open in my browser, and I'm signed in as a global administrator in my organization, which is called D365 Club. I have a lot of things that are configured now, but I want to make sure that I can get paid. So to do that, I need to configure my Stripe account. So let's click on Administration in the left-hand menu, and then Merchant Info in the Accounting section. Great. Now we're being shown that I have a Stripe account, which is good. Now we need to make sure that we're completely onboarded. So let's click on the Configure Stripe Onboarding link at the bottom of the screen. Good. Now I've zoomed in a little bit here so that we can see a bit better. Now the first thing I'm being asked to do is provide an email address for my Stripe account. If you have an existing Stripe account, then you can enter that email here and it will streamline the process. However, in my case, I don't have a Stripe account yet, so I'm going to enter my email address. And now I'm going to click Continue. Now, since I don't have an account, it asks me to enter a password. So I'm going to provide a password that I'm going to remember, and then click Submit. Stripe requires a multi-factor authentication, or MFA. Now, you can use an authenticator app that's installed on your phone already if you prefer by following the directions. Or you can ask Stripe to send you a one-time code to your phone, and I'm going to select that option. Now on this next page, the code that's being provided is an emergency code in case you lose your password. Stripe is going to ask you for this code so that you can get yourself reconnected. So it's a good idea to download this code and put it somewhere safe. And once you've done that, we can click on Next at the bottom of the screen to go to the next step. Alright, now this next step asks a bit about your business. Where are you located? What type of business are you? In most cases, your business type will be non-profit, but select whatever type you are and then click Continue. Now for the next screen, it's going to ask me for a bit more detailed information about my business. And the first thing I'm being asked for is my legal business name. So I'm going to enter Dive 365 Inc. Then I can set the doing business as if I want to. And if you're a corporation, you're going to have to enter your registration number, though in a lot of cases, particularly with nonprofits, this is optional. Then you can set your address, your phone number, your industry, which is usually membership, your website, and then finally a product description. Now, the product description is required. It can be short, but it has to be long enough to describe your business. So I'll enter something like Demo Diving Organization Serving the Local Community. Now we can click Continue at the bottom of the page. Now this next page is going to ask you about you. Now since you're the person creating the account, it wants to know who you are. So we can provide some general information by filling out the page. So I'm going to do that. Now at the bottom of the screen, we're being asked if you're a director of the company. And if you are, click the checkbox, but if you're not, leave it unchecked. Then we can click Continue. And on the next screen, we can finally enter our bank details. And you can provide your account data at the top of the screen, so let me do that. And then at the bottom of the screen, we're being asked when we want to get paid out. Now, generally, most clubs will select a payout frequency of every week, and they'll pick a Tuesday just to avoid stat holidays. In fact, that's what I'm going to do. Now, Stripe works by collecting the funds from your members and then placing the revenue in your online account. And whenever the payout schedule ticks, the money that's been collected to that point is then paid out to you. And you can set the schedule to whatever you want, or even leave it as manual if you prefer. Once you have it configured, you can click Continue. Now, this next screen asks how you want your items to appear in an invoice that's sent to your members. But in Dive 365, all invoices actually come from the main Dive 365 account, not from your account. So unless you plan to use Stripe for your own purposes, you can actually skip past this screen by clicking Continue at the bottom of the page. Now, at this point, we get to a review screen where we can validate all the information that we've provided, and assuming everything is correct, we can scroll all the way down to the bottom of the screen and confirm. Now, this is going to send us back to Dive 365. Now, at this point, Stripe is going to validate the information that you've provided behind the scenes. It's going to look up your organization in public registries and make sure that everything is good. This step is required to make sure that you're a real organization and that they can send you money. So what that means is that we need to verify that Stripe doesn't actually need anything else from us. And the good news is that this is a one-time configuration. Once we get this set up, there's no need to configure it again in the future. So now that we're back in the merchant information screen in Dive 365, now we want to navigate back to Stripe's dashboard to see if there's anything more that we need to do. So at the top of the page, let's click on the Merchant Account Dashboard link. Perfect. Now, oftentimes at the very top of the page, you're going to see a banner that says whether or not there's any more work for you to do and that payouts are paused or allowed to continue depending on that status. But sometimes that banner isn't there, so we're going to go check to see it manually. Now, in the very top right corner of the screen, there's a Settings button, which looks like a cog, so we can click on that. And then we can click on the Business option under Account Settings, and then click on the Account Status tab. Now, once you're in that tab, there's going to be two sub-tabs, an Active tab and a Completed tab. Now, under the Active tab is going to be the list of all the things that you need to do in order to make sure that Stripe is fully completed. In most cases, there's only going to be one thing, and that is just to provide proof of your directors. Now, like I said, what's happening is that Stripe is going to go off and validate that your organization is who you say it is. So it's going to take a look at public registries about your organization, and it's going to find the list of directors associated to that public registry. All you have to do is confirm that what it found is correct. So you'll simply hit a Confirm button, and everything will be done after that. In some cases, it might ask for email addresses for those directors, but this is different province by province. At the end of the day, once you've provided all the information in the Active tab, then at that point Stripe will be completely configured and your payouts will be unlocked and you will now get paid. So there you have it. In this demo, we connected our Dive 365 organization with Stripe.